Titles, go, Paul. This is the show.
Don't bother me.
Okay.
Ungeeked.
Downy Bear Nightmares.
Spicy pickle.
The inner circle.
Gazelle Communion.
Big Paws.
Bags and holes.
Sophisticated.
Pretty women make us buy beer. Ugly women make us drink beer.
Duh.
All right. Let's do this.
Warning. What you are about to hear contains explicit language, adult themes, and potentially disturbing content. The views and opinions expressed are those of the hosts and do not reflect the opinions of anyone else, anywhere, ever, in the history of the world. This podcast is intended for an immature audience and should not be listened to by anyone, anywhere, ever, in the history of the world. You know, fuck it. You've been warned.
Hello, welcome to this week's edition of Geek Pod. I'm your host, Paul.
I guess I'm Corbs early today.
DC.
He wasn't ready. I'm Jack.
Guys, what's got you geeked?
So, as you all know, it was my birthday on Monday. You all knew. I knew you all knew it was my birthday.
I
Wink,
really
wink.
thought your birthday was today.
That
I
hurts.
really did.
That just hurts. So, no, all right. So, you all know that I'm not a morning person. I need a cup of coffee, tea, or hot cocoa to get the day started. So, you all know I like funny t-shirts. So, my colleagues got me a fun t-shirt. So, Unreal, I'm going to show it to you guys on the podcast. So,
So that fits. That fits.
Definitely. Definitely.
Love it.
little backstory for the people that know why I say sup. Like I said, not awake in the morning. It's the first thing that comes to mind. I work with some physical therapists, so like when on my first day, I didn't have a cup of coffee. My shift was 6 a.m., so I was like, yeah, that fucking is gonna be awful. I need a cup of coffee to get the day going. So I look in the direction of a physical therapist on my first day. Yeah, no more response. Shake hand, nice to meet you. Sup. That's what I do to them. I say that to them. So every time we see each other in the morning, we're like, sup to each other. And I get to work on Monday. I have a birthday card and a bag on my desk. I'm like, okay. I only told her it was my birthday once. She puts the card there, and then there's the bag with the t-shirt. So unrevealing on the podcast, what is me geek? A t-shirt that says sup.
Oh, nice.
Absolutely.
Good stuff.
That's outstanding.
So
Absolutely.
she was like, I didn't know what to get you. Got you XL. I was like, I wear large, but my friends on my podcast like to get me 5XL. That's my moo. So a t-shirt that got me geeked this week. So short and sweet.
Very
Cool.
cool.
Very nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
I guess I'll go. All right. Well, as you guys all know, I'm an avid golfer. Yeah, I know it comes as a shock,
I didn't
But,
know that.
but I don't know when this is going to air. So starting tomorrow, which is Thursday, is the Masters.
Yes.
So I will be spending
All the time.
pretty much every night that I get home that I don't have something going on, because I'm actually subbing for cornhole tomorrow night from one of the ladies that I work with. She plays in the same league that Kelly and I do on Tuesday, but they also play Thursday at the same location. So they asked us to sub. They're in Florida for 5 days or something like that. So they asked us to sub. So we're going to sub on Thursday night. So, but I will be spending most of the weekend once it comes on in front of the TV. So don't fucking bother me.
You know, you can watch early on ESPN Plus. You know that, right?
I don't have ESPN Plus.
Oh,
Do you want ESPN Plus? I can give it to you.
No, I like to watch it on TV. And as you guys, and as all of you guys know, I've been to Augusta and I've been to the Masters. And watching it on TV as opposed to seeing it in person are two totally different things. I've said that from the day I got back. That is a bucket list item that I've always wanted. Was made to happen, made true by my best friend. So we were able to go 3 years ago now, um, to the Masters, and still by far the second greatest thing that I can say in my life.
Awesome.
First being obviously being my son, but nothing compares to it. So and I've been to 2 out of the 4 majors. Looking to get to a third one within the next 3 to 4 or 5 years, something to that effect. Probably the next 3 years. Next year it's going to be in New York City, and then the year after that it's going to be just out of New York, or 2 years after that. So 3 years from now, it's going to be just outside of New York City. So that's what I'm looking to get at. So
Nice.
then I'll be the 3 out of 4, and the fourth one will be the hardest one to get to because that's over in England, over in that area. So
And it's not in England.
well, you know what I'm getting at.
Right.
It's over there. It's
Yeah,
European.
it's across the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to get there would be, I got to row, or I got to take a fucking boat, or I got to jump on one of those little plane thingies.
Puddle jumper.
Yeah.
Some little plane thingies.
So
Yeah.
Live from Geek Pod over the pond there.
so yeah. So again, it's just for me. It's this weekend is golf season officially started for me. This weekend coming up.
There you go.
So that's all I got.
Cool. DC.
Well, I almost had something that was going to get me geeked, but it actually got me ungeeked. So today I was supposed to go to Hanger Prosthetics and have them look at my prosthetics, so that way they could make adjustments so I could get the hell out of here. So my sister comes and picks me up. We go to Hanger. We walk in and they're like, yeah, we tried to get in touch with you, but we need you to reschedule. And I'm like, what? And they go, well, yeah, we called your cell phone. So I looked at my cell phone and they called me Friday at 5:30. I was eating dinner. I don't answer the phone for my mother while I'm eating dinner.
She can hear you, by the way.
Huh?
She can hear you, by the way.
I don't care.
Hi, Ma.
Hi.
But my mom also knows not to call between 5:30 and 6 o'clock because that's usually when my tray comes. But anyway, so now I have to go back on Tuesday of next week. And the reason they needed to reschedule is because the woman that I'm supposed to see, who I've been seeing for the last 3 years, is out on medical leave. And they don't know when she's going to come back. So I'm going to have to meet with somebody new. I don't like that. But in order to get out of here, I got to do it. So I'm stuck here for at least until probably the end of the month, maybe later than that. On Friday, I'll be at Loretto for a month, out of my mother's house for 5 weeks, just like the last time. And I can only watch so many videos on my phone or on my computer. I stopped watching movies. I just been watching shorts like on my phone and stuff like that. Some really cool things and stuff. But yeah, that's where I'm at. I don't have anything that's got me geeked. I got something that's pissed me off. That's it.
All
Better be
right.
pissed off than pissed on.
There's
Ah!
that. Yes.
That was good. That was good.
Exactly.
All right. Mine is since the last time we recorded, we all got to hang out at Syracuse Collectors Con. It was a very, very successful show. A good time was had by all, I think.
Yes.
The new promo shots of everybody will be being debuted soon, probably with a new GeekPod Open coming. So that way everybody matches and everything. Not on this episode because I'm too lazy to do it now. But yeah, thanks
Yeah.
again. Thanks again to Linden Lake for having us. We had a blast. We met a lot of really cool people. Did some really, really cool stuff.
I thought we were talk about this during the show.
This is the show.
Well, I thought we'd have like a segment for this.
No, this is the opening for it right now.
Gotcha.
This is the show.
But you're
No.
right, though. It was a good time by all. And Billy Gunn, damn, that man has some big paws. Like that literally was like my little fist compared to his. And the picture will be here probably eventually. It's bam. But yeah, I was like, yeah, you are a big, big man. I was pretty freaked out. But I was really excited for Corbs, though. Corbs, I want you to talk about that, about your picture with Lita. That was pretty awesome.
Oh, it's just it was fantastic. I mean, I grew up watching wrestling during the Attitude Era. I grew up watching her. Um, had a crush on her. Not gonna lie. Um, so getting a chance to meet her was fantastic. Um, kind of just walked up and just said, hey, I want to get a picture, autograph, and a selfie. She's like, yeah, sure. I mean, it's towards the end of the day, so it kind of worked out a little bit better because we were there kind of towards when they were getting ready to pack up and leave. She was only there on Saturday. But got talking to her a little bit. You know, we got talking about the other Comic Con that they're going to be at that's in the area.
Yep.
Nickel Con in Buffalo.
Nickel
Yeah,
City Con.
Nickel
Nickel
City
City
Con.
Con up in
Sorry.
Buffalo, that she's going to be at. But we were just like I said, we were just kind of talking. That the subject got brought up about that. We mentioned that some of us might be trying to get out there to see them, to go to the con, not just to see them, but to go to the con. Um, and I mentioned that I wasn't going to be able to make it because it falls on the weekend of my son's high school graduation. So obviously I'm not going to be able to make it. And she's like, "Oh, that's a perfectly fine excuse why you're not going to be there and stuff." So she went to sign it. So I picked out the picture and she went to sign it and she goes, "Well, can I personalize it for you?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure."
Right.
Like,
Okay.
yeah, anything you want. She goes, "Well, who to make it out to?" I said, "Well, my name is Sean, but everybody calls me Corbs." And she's like, "Well, can I call you Corbs?" And I'm like, "Yeah,
Right? You can call me anything you want.
right." So she made it out to Corbs and all that stuff, and then I got a picture with her. Like I said, we kind of talked a little bit. Hands down, and I've met celebrities, and there are a lot of celebrities that are very good, and they'll carry on a conversation with you. My brother knows the one that I always bring up is the Ted Williams
Yeah.
when I got his autograph, and I think we are in Rochester when I got that, and just the talking about the picture and whatnot.
Yeah.
But she made that experience so memorable for me that I would, if I could, I would go to Nickel City Con just to see her again and just to get a chance to talk to her again.
Hmm.
She's very personable. A lot of the guys kind of were not as personable. Could have been, dickish a little bit. And we didn't, obviously, I didn't talk to Buff. What I don't think any of us did. I don't think
I
anybody.
don't
I
think
don't think anybody talked to him.
anybody talked to
No.
Buff.
We did talk to Billy Gunn when we first got there.
Yep.
Like I said, the man shook my hand, and that's a big hand.
That's a big
That's a
paw, isn't it?
that's a big hand. I'm not gonna lie to you. Now I've shaken hands with guys that have got big hands. Andre the Giant comes to mind. When Andre shook your hand, it was like shaking. He was shaking a stump. Like
Right.
he engulfed your hand.
Yeah.
Billy's was close to that. It was, and you had to meet strength with strength, and that's a big boy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, that's
That's a
it.
big boy.
Let's put it in perspective, though. You're shaking his hand. We'll tell the audience you're shaking the hand. It's a big paw, but it
Yeah.
feels like some sandpaper you're touching a little
Yeah.
bit. It's a little abrasive. It's not soft. That's a pretty rough hand.
Yeah. So yeah, he was good. So and we I think we asked him to maybe do a spot, and I think he gave us after talking to Lee, I think he gave us the corporate answer.
Yeah.
But the funny part about it is, so we asked her to do it, and she gave us the exact same answer. And somebody on this podcast believed her, even after she said it wasn't, it was a
Like
corporate answer.
she told us she was giving the bullshit answer,
Yep.
then asked the question, and she delivered it so well
Yep.
that someone was still,
Convinced.
yeah, convinced that that was the answer. Yeah.
What an idiot, right? Wow.
What a dumbass.
But yeah,
Shit.
so like I said, I mean, and I would, I told Blood, I've told you guys all know that I would probably drive someplace if she was close by doing another signing. I would probably drive to that autograph session if it was within reasonable distance, just
Because
because of the experience that she put forth.
Mm-hmm.
you have a memorable name too. So like I would love you to go to the con in Buffalo. Like she just picks you out of the crowd, like, hey, it's Corbs.
Right. So, and then she was joking around like when we were taking the picture, and we were, her and I were kind of laughing, but Laura was taking the pictures, and she was like, "No, do this and no, do that," and she deadpan goes, "Where the fuck you been all day? You need to be here. You should have been here taking pictures for you. I'm gonna hire you just to come to the cons and take pictures for me." So
Wow.
yeah, so it was pretty cool. And like I said, very personable. She spent, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes just shooting the shit with us.
Yeah, just hanging out
Yeah,
both times.
it literally was just like you were just 7 or 8 dudes, guys, wrestling fans sitting in a circle talking about just life stuff. We weren't
Yep.
talking wrestling. We were just
Right.
talking about, other cons and stuff like that. And she just made the experience that much better for me. So
Absolutely.
That's
I would
awesome.
definitely, like I said, I would definitely go and see her again.
Yeah, she was great. She was the highlight of the show for me as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My honest opinion, I think she might have been the highlight of the whole autograph session.
Mhm.
From what I mean, I didn't get a chance to meet Michelle McCool.
Kelly, right?
Kelly,
Kelly.
that's who it was. Kelly. I didn't get a chance to meet her to talk to her. I didn't really get a chance to talk to anybody else. I didn't talk to Buff. I didn't talk to Dan Severin. They had one of the Pitbulls was there. They had Bill Alfonso was there, and Joey
Mhm.
Gertner
Yep.
from ECW were all there. I didn't get a chance to talk to any of those guys. The only person we talked to Billy Gunn as kind of as a group, and then I got the picture and the selfie with Lita, and that's all I could talk about all weekend.
Right.
So
It was kind of cool. Like I went around, like Paul always says, like walk around, see what you can find a little bit. I went around and actually I got to talk to Erica Estrada a little bit. So literally all you see is a brown mushed up face with those pearly white teeth. That's all I could see.
Oh,
And
the other guy we talked to was what was it Max? Is it Max Lapierre, the guy who played the Ghostface in Scream Six?
yeah,
Oh, I never
yep,
talked to him.
Yeah,
yep, he did.
Jack, you did, right?
I did, yes.
Yeah, Jack and Laura and was Shannon with you guys?
She was for a little bit, but Laura went more in depth to talk to him a little bit. But yeah,
Yeah,
he was talking about it,
yeah.
and he was actually a very nice guy.
He actually had the screen worn mask that he wore
Nice.
during the filming with him.
That's cool.
He actually pulled it out and showed those. I didn't get to stay and talk to him, but I know that Laura mentioned something, and she came back that the mask was the actual physical mask that he wore from set.
That's cool.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. That's cool.
Very cool. Yeah. Oh, and then we can't forget our new best friends at Wow Fudge.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
well, Fudge. I thought you were gonna talk about our other.
Yes, Wow Fudge was amazing. We
They
were
were.
in like a sugar rush the whole weekend.
Yep.
Those guys were awesome. There you go.
There we go.
Did you
Love
actually
it.
go back and buy Fudge Ball?
No, because they sold out of the one I wanted.
Which one did you want?
I wanted
Oh,
the Harry Potter butterbeer.
Butterbeer. That's what it was.
You don't want the
Yes.
unicorn
So
poo?
good. No, that one literally looked like Play-Doh. Nope.
It was just like a big diabetes
I want
brick.
I want
All
to
of it
say
was.
I want to say we tried pretty much 90% of that fudge. And they were very accommodating to us too. Which was
They
also
were
fantastic.
great.
They were amazing.
You can come up and try anything. I mean, we literally stood there for 15 minutes, and I think we were all kind of trying different ones. And there was the two gentlemen that it's the father and son
Yes.
that run the business, and they were just cutting off little pieces and letting us try anything we wanted to try. They were
Yep.
fantastic.
Having a blast with it. Yes.
Yep.
What was there? Like a habanero, a pickle, like
Yep.
mint
The
chocolate chip.
spicy pickle.
The spicy pickle.
Yep. They had a couple of different ones. I mean, they had what Unicorn Boom, they had Bill's Mafia, which tasted like a bomb pop.
Yep. The
Um,
cinnamon one was my favorite for
Yeah,
sure.
they had
Wait,
the-
I heard that Bill's Mafia one. That one, like once you try it, it made you choke. Oh.
Oh,
but
that's
you gotta have
good.
4 in a row.
Wow.
You have to try it 4 times in a row, right? Before you
Wow.
choke. That was good. That was really good.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, we tried a bunch of stuff there. They had
Why don't you just call Josh Allen and ask if you can kick him right in the nuts? Shit.
that's Haley Steinfeld's job now.
Right.
But I mean,
Yeah.
they had Fireball, Fudge.
Yes, which was really good.
Yep, that was good. They had
They had a few different bourbon ones, didn't
yeah,
they?
they had a couple of bourbons ones that I tried. Those were these, and you can taste the bourbon in it, but there's no alcohol. The alcohol burns out when you cook it.
Right.
No alcohol in it,
It's
but you can
unfortunate.
still taste that flavor, which is good.
Hmm.
So yeah, I tried one of the bourbon. I can't remember which bourbon one I tried. I tried one of the
I think you
bourbon
tried the
ones.
old fashioned,
I
didn't
think
you?
I did try the old fashioned. I think, yeah, actually that was the old fashioned I tried. We tried that one, the Fireball. They had a Shamrock Shake, which was kind of a hit. I think it was gone when I took my son down there, which he wanted to try some of it. So we didn't get a chance to try that one. We tried the orange creamsicle because him and I both like the orange creamsicle, which tastes like a orange creamsicle pop, which is what I always picture. But I mean, there were so many good things of fudge there,
Yeah.
and like I said, I would think we tried probably, but not, between all
Yeah,
of us.
between us, I think we tried most everything that was there.
Yeah.
And the moment he said spicy pickle, I was like, I don't want to do this, but I think I have to. And I regretted it instantly. And he thought that was hilarious.
Nice.
I
Yeah.
feel bad because I don't remember the gentlemen's names.
Yeah, I
Joe
don't
was,
know
I
they
think, the
told us.
son's name. I think it was, or that was
What?
yeah. Joe was one of them. I think that was the son. I don't know. But
Okay.
they're very nice gentlemen. They're gonna
They
be
were
at Sci-Fi
awesome.
Horror Fest though with us.
Are
They're
they?
gonna come. They said they want to come up for
know. So
it.
they wanted to come up. They did say I did remember hearing him say that.
Very cool.
So that'd be pretty.
They're
Nice. That'd be
from,
pretty cool.
they said they're from outside of Pittsburgh.
Yep.
That's
So
awesome.
Yeah.
that's-
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So they were up here. I mean, they were here for the whole weekend for Factors Con. So
yeah.
I don't know if they're gonna come back out. They may just come up for the show at Horror Fest, but
But
Yeah.
they said they always want to experiment in like new types of fudge. And
yeah.
tell me if this sounds disgusting, but
It sounds
what do you?
disgusting.
Does.
I know you McDonald's French fry.
Oh.
I don't know how you would do it though, but they said they can make it. I don't know. I don't know if that would taste
No.
good or not. But tell Bryce I'm sorry for the Shamrock Shake. I went back and they gave me a big sample of it, so I ate probably a lot of that one. Yeah.
So yeah, so he wanted to try that one, but like I said, it was
That would have been me with the butterbeer one. I would have just had walking around fudge. Just
just
Walking around with your butterbeer fudge talking to Lita.
yo. Butterbeer stain on their paper.
It's like, can I get a picture with you? It's all going down your cheek.
Yeah, my butterbeer fingers.
I thought you were talking about our new friends. I thought you were going to talk about the
Oh,
troopers.
yes. That's next.
The troopers.
They were phenomenal.
Yeah.
They were so much fun. They were supposed to be right next to us. I don't know if I mentioned it on the show or not, but I know I told you guys about it. That when I saw the map for all the setups, that they had us right next to the sheriffs, the Onondaga County sheriffs.
Yep.
And I was like, well, that's going to be interesting. And we get there and they had moved them. They switched the Ninja Turtles with them. And but they were just they were wild. They still appropriate, but they were a blast. They were a lot of fun. They would stop us every time we went by to talk and bullshit, and
Yep.
you know they tried to see if we had monsters. They needed their caffeine fix. They were a blast.
One of the sheriffs, for what I gathered, she was a little bit of a
Wild child.
not what I was going to say wild, but she was a little bit of a almost like a con goer almost. Like she wanted to
Oh.
come. She wanted to come dressed up as Wonder Woman.
And their sergeant
Yes.
told her no.
Yeah, her sergeant told her no.
She had a
But she
little
got-
lasso of truth, right?
Yeah, she had the
Mhm.
lasso of truth on her I don't know
On
what
her
you call
belt.
it. Her belt, her gun belt,
Yeah.
her utility belt, basically.
There you go. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
like that.
so but she had that on there. And we said that we were gonna try to we wanted to maybe do a few weird things or
Just be careful there. Not those kind of weird things.
yeah, they're not
Yes,
okay,
they
not
were.
weird.
Different.
Promotional stuff. We were gonna try to do a few
Yes.
things with them.
Promotional things.
Never
and-
got to though.
And the
unfortunately.
same girl said that she would have done it, but her sergeant wouldn't let her. And,
Yep.
and I get it. You can't really.
Yeah, they're working.
Can't believe it.
They're working, right? You
Yeah.
can't really do stuff like that. So, but I mean, I offered them. Mom made
Money.
cookies for everybody, and then so when I went down there towards the end of the first day, I said to the girls, I said, hey, the sheriffs, they were all girls, so I said, if you guys want cookies, there's cookies down at our table. You guys can come get them. They never came down, but they were very nice. They're very approachable. and
Very
they were having a good
personable,
time. So
Yeah.
But the real question, Corbs, would you give them a pinwheel?
do we have any pinwheels?
You mean a pizzelle? You just
Pizzelle, would you?
Dallas, ooh, I don't know.
Yeah. You're like, yeah, I can't do that.
You gotta
son.
be like,
You gotta be the inner circle for the Pizzelles.
right.
And there's
There's
not
only
many people.
yeah.
I was
There's
gonna
not
say,
many
how much
people in
more
the
inner circle can I get? I still haven't gotten pizzelles.
And we only get one. We only get one.
There's very
For the
few in the inner
table,
circle. Pizzelles is an inner. You got to be in the inner for the Pizzelles.
And
Right.
we're talking about one community one, and you get the whole freaking bag.
What whole bag? He gets one. He gets so many that he's got him in like 9 hiding places in his room. And people are, and anytime somebody asks, and he says the same thing. If you can find them, you can have them.
You're like a squirrel hoarding your nuts, bro. You're like, "These
you
are
know
mine."
here's how true that is, Jack.
Yeah.
I got 2 bags this year from Kelly. When my girlfriend makes the pizzelles, I ask every year for pizzelles, and she always makes them for me. Always thankful that she makes them for me. I do share. Don't get me wrong.
When?
I give some to my sister. I give some to my best friend's wife, who likes them also. Give some to Jen.
Yeah.
I do put them out. Now, if we had gone to the table in January, my fault. We didn't go. My fault. I had planned on bringing them.
Notice he didn't give any to his
Shut your
mother.
pie hole. So, but I didn't. I had one bag and the bag was gone, and I forgot. I had given the second bag to my son to hide.
And he did.
He did. And I asked him for him like the middle of February. I'm like, hey, do you still have those pizzelles? He goes, I sure do. He goes, you can find them. You can have them.
That's awesome.
Oh my God. You'll find them on when you're 92 years old. Bryce will be like, here you go.
No, he actually ended up giving them to me. But he joked and said, if you can find them, you can have them.
Because that's what he says.
Right.
So, but he did give them to me, and I ate the whole bag.
Outstanding.
Took me a few days. Took me like a week to get through it. I mean, there was a lot of them in there.
Right.
But it took me like a week to get. I had like 3 or 4 or 5 at night, and it took me like a week and a half to get through it. I mean, there was a lot of pizzelles in there. So, but yeah. So when she makes them again at Christmas time this year for me, if we are at D&D, I will bring them.
Better be.
And we only get one.
I will bring
For the table.
one.
Yeah.
For the whole table, and you got to cut them up like the freaking,
They're way
body.
it's
You got to
the-
cut them up like the
yeah,
body
it-
of
you-
Christ.
it-
Yeah, it's the communion. It's the host of the body.
It's gonna be the Holy Communion. I'll break it to give you little pieces of it. You gotta,
It's you take this.
And you got to,
Yeah.
you got to do that.
right.
Reverend Corbs passing out the host.
That's right.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get ordained before then.
Yeah. Yeah. Or even, on what? Even you can perform weddings.com.
Good reference.
That's right.
All right.
You all right there, champ?
No.
No.
There's singing going on the other side of the door. What the fuck? They know it's Wednesday.
You're downstairs.
You know what that
aren't you?
means?
Are you downstairs?
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't know.
Hey, listen, I told my nurses to stay away, and they're like, okay.
So, but I'm trying to remember your basement now. We haven't recorded in your basement in 4 years. 4 years. But it used to be you faced the door.
Nope, not anymore.
Okay, because that's why I was like, why are you looking over that shoulder? That's the fucking wall.
Right.
Ah!
No, I look at a wall now.
No, I understand. But from my picturing when we used to record down there, you would sit here facing the wall, and the stairs were right there. So if you turned that way, you're facing the outside wall.
Right.
That's why I'm like, why are you looking that way at the door?
Not anymore. But I think if we've covered everything, I think it's a good time to throw it to break. And then we'll come back for the meat of the show. All the meats?
Who's got the meats? We've got the meats.
Where's the beef?
Easy.
Pizzelles and beef.
Stick with us, guys. We'll be right back.
Talking to the stranger with the skeleton flute was his first mistake. Playing it was his second. Be careful what you wish for never meant anything to 12-year-old Sam until the night he blows into the skeleton flute and wishes for his parents to stay together. The stranger promised Sam his greatest desire, but the morning after the low, warbling note came out of the glowing flute, Sam's life has been turned upside down. His brother and sister don't exist, and his best friend doesn't know him. His parents are together and happy, but is it worth sacrificing everyone else he loves? Caught in a web of unintended consequences, Sam must try to get his old life back, despite the challenges that wait for him if he succeeds. And that means uncovering the mystery behind the strange man's identity and the skeleton flute. The skeleton flute hits shelves on August 27th. You can pre-order your copy now on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, your local indie, and most major book retailers.
Now, before you think age is something that doesn't matter, well, it does. That is if you are cheese. Here's the news. Most of Donald Trump's voters trust him on these new tariffs, but there seems to be some cracks. Are we talking about cracks in the system or a pair of butt cheeks? Next up, professional basketball player LeBron James is the first professional male athlete to have his likeness of the iconic Ken Barbie doll. This was reported by Mattel this week. They couldn't be more excited. Personally, I hope it doesn't flop. And last bit of news, the U.S. largest seller of eggs, Cal Mine Foods, reported a net income of $510 million. This is a 250% increase in revenue. In the words of Rob Schneider from the movie Big Daddy, this is bullshit. Eggs are so goddamn expensive, they need to go down in price. Consider the alternative, people. You need to get an egg dealer. And that's the news, kids. I want to leave you with some wisdom. The late, great Betty White once was asked how she stays in contact with her friends and family. She offered a solution. What was that, you may ask? I'll tell you that right now. She said, and I quote, "Well, in my old age, if I want to contact my old friends and family, they told me I should use Facebook. I disagree. What I need is a Ouija board." Paul?
Dad jokes. What do you call a pony with a sore throat? A little horse.
I got one for you. Singing in the shower is fun until you get soap in your mouth. Then it's a soap opera.
Nice.
I like that. All right, I got a joke. Ready? Why do condoms come in three packs, 6-pack, and 12 packs?
Why?
They come in 3 packs because when you're in high school, you have sex on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It comes in 6 packs when you're in your 20s and in college, and you have sex on twice on Friday, twice on Saturday, and twice on Sunday. It comes in 12 packs because when you're married, you do it once a month.
Is that the broken one?
That's outstanding.
We all had jokes and I got none.
I got one more.
Oh, okay.
What do you call a fish wearing a bow tie?
A blowfish.
So fisticated.
Jesus Christ.
All right. Sports.
After that, you can't really do much with sports.
Right into the sports.
Right into sports. All right, so we're gonna talk a little hoopla as we talked before. NC2As was the last 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
3 weeks. The last 3 weeks, you went for both men's and women's. Had 68 teams. Went it all the way down to the final two. Sunday was the women's. Monday was the men's. I did not watch the women's, which is the one I really did want to watch.
Was awesome.
Congratulations to Paige Becker. UConn did get their 12th
Yep.
national championship,
Most all time.
most all time.
In either men or
Either
women's.
men or women's, right? Either men or women's. But the big thing was everybody wanted Paige Beckers to win. She's been the top women's athlete for the past let's say 2, 3 or 4 years, four or five.
She's been at UConn for 5.
Right. She got hurt one year. She missed an entire year due to a torn ACL. So that kind of hampered her career a little bit. I mean, she's still the best. I think still one of the best, if not the best player in college basketball. Juju Watkins out of USC.
She actually won Player of the Year.
She won Player of the Year. She's very good. Don't get me wrong, but she actually didn't play the Elite Eight and the Final Four. I think it's Sweet 16 and Elite Eight. I think she got hurt in the Sweet
16 and
16.
Elite 8. She got
She got
hurt
hurt.
in the Sweet 16. She got hurt in the Sweet 16 in the first 3 minutes of the game.
Yeah, she blew out her ACL, so she's pretty much going to be done for at least the next year. She may come back middle of next year. She's going to be out at least 8 months, I think, 8 to 10 months. That puts you right towards the end of the year. I think if you, my honest opinion, if you're smart enough, you take the full year of eligibility, your red shirt, take the full year of eligibility and play an extra 2 years at USC. That's what I think she should do. But we'll see what happens with that. But again, congratulations to UConn. Paige Becker's got her national championship. She's been trying to win one for the past 4 years. She did not have her best game, but UConn played their best game.
Oh, it was amazing.
Yeah, so and Gino Auriemma, the head coach for UConn, is the first person over the age of 70 to win a national championship. No one over 70 has ever won one. He's the first one. So congratulations to Coach Auriemma. Other basketball, you had the men's going on at the same time. That's kind of what they have the brackets that everybody bets on, and everybody puts together a bracket. Even people that don't really watch basketball do it. I don't get that, but whatever. But that game was on Monday night. That was Florida versus Houston. I watched very little of that game. I watched the end of the game, which Houston really kind of screwed up at the end of the game. They were winning pretty much the whole game. I think I heard, now don't quote me this, I think I heard that Florida only had been leading at that point before they took the lead at the end of the game for like 14 seconds.
Yeah. The entire game, which includes the end, they only led 1 minute and 4 seconds in a 40-minute game. And that was all at the end.
Yeah. And they ended up winning. Kid from Houston, I didn't really see I don't know if he had taken a dribble or whatever, but he went to shoot a shot. The guy came to block it. He kind of hesitated and then didn't realize it and then kind of dropped the ball because he couldn't. If he landed on the ground, it would have been a travel. And then he couldn't touch it because it would have been a travel also. So he kind of dropped it and was hoping one of the other guys from Houston was going to get there, but the kid from Florida dove in and recovered the ball. And that's how Florida ended up winning. So Houston kind of screwed up. I was pulling for Houston. I watched the 30 for 30 on the Houston teams from the early 80s. They called it Vi Slamma Jamma. Danny will know what I'm talking about. Jack does too.
My dad loved those teams.
Yep. And I watched the 30 for 30 on it. They talked about a guy that played on that team. There's two NBA Hall of Famers that played on that team, Clyde Drexler and Hakeem Olajuwon. So I was kind of pulling for them. Would have liked to have seen them win the national championship, but Florida got their third. Congratulations to Florida. I'm not going to shun the fact that they, won. They were a good team, and they stayed right there. They were down 12 at one point, and I saw a stat on that. They were down in the Sweet 16 the Elite Eight, and the Final Four, they were down by 8 points or more in every single one of those games and ended up winning. And they were down by at least 10 points in the championship game, and they came back and won. So that's fantastic that they were able to do that. It sucks that you had to do it 5 straight games, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. A couple other things. Baseball started. Another one of my sports. The White Sox. I think they suck. In case anybody's wondering, they're horrible. They did win a couple of games already, so they're ahead of the stats now.
Are they the worst team in baseball right now
Hmm.
yet, or not? Okay, okay,
Oh,
they're
I'm
already
sure.
there.
To
Okay.
be honest with you, Jack, I haven't even looked. I'm just gonna say yes. When you when I wa when I watched um so when I got the shots in my eye 2 weeks ago, you guys saw it when I was at Collectors Con. So that Thursday was opening day. I had gone and gotten shots in my eye and had my eyes dilated, so I was all kinds of fucked up. So when I got up around 1, so I came home, got that done, came home around 10 o'clock, crawled into bed because I couldn't see, like the light, but really bothered my eyes. So I just crawled into bed, didn't even get undressed, just pants. Took my sneakers off. We'll go with that. But I left my pants on and shirt, and I have a little like a throwover jacket type thing that I won at a golf tournament. I wore that. I just climbed in bed and all that and just passed right back out. Woke up around 1:30 or so, came out in the living room, looked out the window, and it was still bright as shit. So I was like, well, I can't do anything, can't go anywhere yet. So I was like, all right, what am I gonna do? So I didn't realize it until I kind of was sitting here and I was like, holy shit, it's opening day. So I went in my room and you get I got the MLB package preview to start. So I was like, oh, I can watch some baseball. So I started watching, and the White Sox were on. So I was like, all right, I'll watch them for a little bit. When they started announcing the players, like when they call the players out and they line up in the field, every year for opening day, when they're calling out players, and I go, who is this fucking guy? I knew it was going to be bad. And the guy that was their starting pitcher, I want to say he was in Double A last year. I mean, and he's starting opening day the next year. So you know it's not going to be good when your best pitcher is from Double A. So, but on that note, they did win opening day. So, what does that say?
Right.
I think I did check through the first 4 games they were 2-2. After that, I have no idea what they've done. I just know they're not good. Um, so, so I watched a little bit of baseball that day. So baseball obviously started. The Dodgers started out 8-0. Um, that was pretty cool, I guess, if you're a Dodgers fan.
Padres too.
Padres started at 8-0 too.
Yes.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. Padres started out 7-0 or 8-0. Yeah.
Okay.
Padres are playing awesome. They were
Shit
playing
that you
great.
learn because I didn't even know that.
Yep.
So, but then so other than that, I mean, obviously baseball goes until December.
Forever.
A
Right.
long, long time.
Yeah. Yeah. It goes pretty much all throughout summer, which is, I mean, it's good for me. I mean, I enjoy baseball. I watch it. A lot of people don't like baseball. I'm a purist. I like baseball. I like baseball. I like watching the sophistication behind baseball. People nowadays watch it because they want to watch guys hitting 500-foot home runs. I like to watch it, and Daniel will attest to this. This is what I've always liked. I've always loved the defense side of baseball. I like
Yep.
the back and forth between the managers. I grew up in the era where, bunting and stealing were big. Now it's you get 2 guys on and the next guy up tries to hit a 3-run homer. He's swinging for the fences.
Yep.
When I played and when I was growing up, it wasn't like that. You guy got a guy on first. He tried to steal second. You tried to bunt him to third and then hope for a sacrifice fly to get a run in. That's how, or you hit the ball, the opposite way and hit and run and all that stuff. They don't do that shit anymore, which to me is a travesty because that was what baseball was built on. Now it's just how far can I fucking hit the ball? How am I going to get on sport? How am I going to get on Sports Center? What am I going to do to
Yep.
get on Sports Center? That's
Yep.
that's everybody's thing. Um, but I like watching baseball for the strategy behind it and whatnot. So, and then obviously I talked about it earlier. The big thing is Golf season's in full swing. First major
I
championship,
see what you did there.
You're like baseball and golf.
right? First major of the year is this weekend, and like I said earlier, I plan on. I can't be there on Saturday for as much as I want because I have a cornhole tournament on Saturday.
Ooh,
Yeah,
hang
yeah.
around
So
sacks.
three playing cornhole three times this
Ew.
week. So
Nice.
You gotta get those sacks in those holes.
I do.
That's
I do.
not how it's supposed to work, Jack. Just so you know.
Oh,
And by the way, they're not sacks; they're bags. Um,
sorry, bags and holes.
Still, not how it works, man.
so,
I know.
Yeah, so I'm playing cornhole three times this week. I played on Tuesday, playing tomorrow night as subbing for the couple that I work with, the woman that I work with, her and her, I think it's her husband. Uh,
I don't-
they asked us to sub, and I agreed as long as I didn't have the other thing that didn't have me geeked was I was supposed to be on jury duty all week,
Oof.
and I got lucky. I didn't have to go. I called on Monday morning, my number wasn't called. Called on Tuesday, my number still wasn't called. I called tonight when I got home, and they were like, "Well, if you haven't been called, you're
Go
good.
fuck off.
10 year
Yeah,
service, good deed. You're good. You can be done for 10 years. So I don't have to worry about it for 10 years now. So
perfect.
which is nice. So, but yeah. So the Masters is this weekend. So the one guy that I like in golf didn't make the tournament this year. He didn't get a win this year, so he will not be playing, which sucks for me because I always like watching Ricky play.
Ricky
He's not gonna
Fowler.
be Ricky Fowler, yes,
Good
sir.
one.
I only
Yep.
know that because of Corbs.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Boomer.
he won't be there this week.
I would have
Yeah,
guessed it was Shooter McGavin.
oh,
Ricky
Shooter's coming soon.
Fowler, but Ricky Fowler has a hot wife too.
That's a Stokey.
Yes,
She is the former pole vaulter for I want to say UCLA. I
I
think
think
that's
you're
where she
right.
was.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. You got the live guys that have won the Masters. So if you've won the Masters, you can play every year. Doesn't matter if you're on the live tour, if you're on the European tour, if you're on the Korean tour, doesn't matter what tour you're on, you can come back and play it. Um, so a lot of the guys from the live tour, some of the guys have already won it, they're going to be there. So that's when you get the mixture of the live players and the PGA players. They're supposed to have they were supposed to combine, but that has quieted down a little bit. So I don't know what's going on with that. But again, I will be in front of the TV watching the Masters. Definitely be on Sunday for sure, because I always watch the final round.
Now, at the tournament on Saturday, are they going to have TVs? Do you think you'll be able to catch some
They
of
will
it
have
there?
they will have TVs, and I'm sure they'll probably have it on. When we played the last time, it was in middle February, and they had basketball on.
Very
There's
cool.
no more basketball, so the
So
only thing
hopefully they'll put it on.
only thing that they might have on would be like lacrosse, because lacrosse is still going, college lacrosse. But I'm hoping maybe they'll put it on if I can maybe convince Kelly's brother to have them put it on for me. I'm sure they
I
would.
feel like you're gonna get ready to play cornhole. They're like, "Okay, Corbs, you're up." You're like,
Man, hold on.
"Yeah, sure, hold on." But Corbs, you ready? I'm like, "Just one second."
So,
One
but
second,
yeah,
second.
yeah. So that this weekend should be fun.
That's
The
awesome.
cornhole tournament there is at the American Legion in East Syracuse. So you've got to play with the house bags. I have my own cornhole bags that we bought. Um, So, but you can't use those. So they like to make it even for everybody because my bags are broken in, and another guy that
Right at
might
that
come,
age, yes.
yeah, they do age.
You gotta toss that bag a little bit, get that nice and limber.
And you laugh, Jack. They said that's the way to
Oh.
break them in is to throw them.
Mm-hmm.
So the other way, I mean, I've done a little research on how to break in cornhole bags. The other thing they say to do is put them to soak them in fabric softener. Not soak your balls in fabric.
Is that what the
Proceed,
Downy?
yes.
Is that what the Downy Bear too?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I actually have Downy fabric softener that I
That
use.
thing scares the shit out of me, man. But I get what you're saying. I'm sorry. Go
So
ahead.
yeah, so you soak them, you let them dry, and then you put them in the dryer, and you dry them on high heat, or you. They say not to dry them on high heat. They say them like medium heat, and you just let the tumbling that breaks the bags down. and it gets them softer so that when the bag catches the hole, it it grips and falls in the hole. Is what it's supposed to do.
Perfect.
Bags and holes.
Bags and holes.
So, but
Bags in.
so Tuesday we actually have 9 wins, which is the most we've had in any of the sessions we've done so far. So,
Nice.
Outstanding.
yeah, so we're actually playing pretty well. And then we practice after. Like when you get there, you can practice, but the boards are usually full. And Kelly and I practice after and stuff. So that's when I start trying to work on certain shots and stuff like that. So last night or Tuesday night, sorry, yeah, last night. Well, depends on when this comes out. So Tuesday night, I was practicing on pushing bags in. So you put a bag in front of the hole, and then you just try to push that bag in and your bag in behind it. So I tried to work on that. A couple times I had a couple of good shots. I had a couple of good pushes and stuff like that. So, but yeah, so that's what I like to do. I like to try to work at things after and stuff like that too. So that's all I got for sports.
I'm gonna throw something in there too.
All right.
Leave it with this guy. Just steal everyone's shit.
Over the weekend, one of the greatest records in NHL history was broken.
Oh yeah, shit. Forgot about
Yes,
it.
you're absolutely right.
So, Alexander Ovechkin for the Washington Capitals played his entire career with the Capitals. Broke Wayne Gretzky's all-time goal scoring record. Gretzky had 894 career goals in 1,487 games. Over the weekend, Alexander Ovechkin scored his 895th goal in
Wow.
1,487 games. He broke the record against the Islanders in a loss. But he had a chance to break it the night before, but refused to
Oh, yeah.
score into an empty net. He wanted to score against the goalie.
Yep.
Nice.
So he didn't. So their number one draft pick from 2 years ago scored his very first goal. And actually was congratulated in the locker room by Wayne Gretzky, but Ovechkin tied with 894 on that night and then broke it the next day. And nobody ever thought that record would be broken. But Ovechkin was trying. He actually missed 16 games this year with a broken leg. So he probably would have broken it sooner, but he has. The Capitals are the second best team in the league this year, and hopefully can add a second Stanley Cup. But yep, that's what happened over the weekend. I was stoked, watched it. My son was texting me and called me and texted me and all that kind of stuff because he could watch the game and I couldn't. So, yep, that happened over the weekend. Alexander Ovechkin is now the greatest goal scorer in NHL history.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Congrats to him. My congratulations, and $10 will get him a beer.
Not even
And
the
a,
club
and,
beats.
yeah, no.
It depends on where you're getting that beer, I guess.
Yeah.
He likes Coors Light or
Perfect.
Bud.
So he might be able to
perfect.
get
See,
him one. Yes.
You know, I like him a little bit more. I didn't really like him all much, but I drink Coors. He drinks Coors. We're
Yeah.
good to go. We're homies now.
We're homies. I love it. All right. So I think it's time to talk a little wrestling.
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 Yeesh.
All right. Speaking of wrestling, okay. I have not watched Raw.
Why?
Well, first of all, I couldn't watch it because it's on at 3 o'clock in the fucking afternoon.
It's back to our regular schedule
What
program.
kind of bullshit is that?
It's back though at 8 o'clock. I'm getting my calendar
Okay.
invites.
I get that. I get that side of it, Jack.
Shut him
I-
down.
I don't watch wrestling because Netflix fucking freezes on me all the time.
Yep, I get those text messages for weeks in a row, and I always
I've
felt bad
given
going,
up.
no, mine works, man.
I've given up.
Where does it freeze
Done.
when you just had to boot it up? Why is it
On the
freezing
TV.
still?
It's
Oh. It's like right when it's like the 1, 2, 3. It's like 1,
That's
2,
good.
and then buffer.
No, it'll be like I was watching it last night and
why were you watching it last night? Last night was Tuesday.
Who depends on when this comes out.
I've been on top of that shit lately.
You actually have been good.
Okay, so
So-
Monday night I was watching it. And let's see where.
They won't know which Monday, but
So it was that. I watched.
2028.
So I watched. Oh, it was during the freaking 6-man tag
Okay.
with what's his American Made and Chad Gable with the lucha mask on.
Oh
not
yeah,
Chad Gable. They keep telling you. El Grande Americano
Yeah.
from the Gulf of America. I fucking love that shit. We'll get into that, but continue your story first.
So that's where it fucking froze.
Oh,
It freezes, and then it will shut off, and it goes back to the main screen. Not even Netflix main screen, like your smart TV screen. And then I try to log back in, and it goes back to where it froze, and then you hit live TV, and it jumps to live TV, and then it freezes again.
Is it just during wrestling or all your programs on Netflix?
With mine in Netflix, it's with most stuff that I watch.
Have you called them and say, "Hey, I have this issue. Maybe you can get a refund"? I don't know. That's not cool.
No.
We don't want to spend a lot of time troubleshooting. I mean, the show is.
Yes, I turned it off and back on, Paul.
Yeah, have you rebooted? No.
Did you break the TV, Corbs? Like you broke
Right,
the other
that's next. He's gonna punch it. How do you watch it? Right on the TV? Like the app is on the TV?
Yep.
Your TV, is that via Wi-Fi or you have Ethernet to it?
Wi-Fi.
Are you able to get Ethernet to it?
I don't know. I'd have to take a look at the back of the TV.
We'll do this off mic. So,
Yeah, no, that's fine. And now that you say that, then I'll take a look. We don't have to talk about it. I'll try that and see if that fixes some of the problem.
the other solution, one of your best friends is going to be watching it every Monday night. If you want to swing by,
Doesn't my friend have to go and pick up his daughter?
not anymore. Marching band's over.
That means I can come over too. I can come over too.
You are not invited, Jack.
Okay.
All right, but anyway.
But I did correctly call the triple threat between Io,
Yes.
Rhea, and Bianca.
How about that fucking bump Rhea took?
Yeah. Io
When she got the drop kick to the back of the fucking head and then smashed into Bianca's face.
Yeah, I watched the Raw highlights on YouTube today.
If you watch it, she hits Bianca more in like the bicep area. She kind of like catches her like here. I thought the same thing when I because that was one of the only things I got to see live
before I cut out on
before I got pissed. Yeah, that was a pretty big bump, and it likens me back to that's kind of how Paige got hurt.
Yeah,
remember that? That's when she had come back. And she got hurt. She hurt her neck. That was what it was. It was a drop kick to the back from Sasha Banks.
Yep. I'm surprised I still let them do that kind of shit.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked. I mean, and
that was like a whiplash. Like,
yeah, it was pretty violent. I was kind of, but I mean, Mommy's a big girl. Mm-hmm. She can handle that, and she's very muscular.
But that was like,
she can handle that, and Bianca's no slouch either.
No. They're
so I love the fact that the two of them keep punking Io. Just get out the way.
I know that's just awful. So, but the one that I'm very interested in seeing, because now Randy Orton, who is he going to fight? Because Kevin Owens, like he was pissed that got leave. Like, who is Randy Orton going to fight at WrestleMania?
I don't think he gets a match now. There isn't enough time to build something for WrestleMania.
Can you bring in like a legend or something like that versus him?
For him to kill?
Yeah. Well, you know what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah. God, see, this is perfect because that rolls into it. That's what I wanted to discuss was the WrestleMania card.
Yes.
That's what I got here. All
right. Well, what do you got besides Bianca, Io, and Rhea?
Okay, so I'm gonna sit up, which means I'm gonna move the mic. Okay. We also have just announced this week Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano in a lucha match. I almost feel like Chad Gable has to come out on top on that one. They just have to keep building this one.
Yep. He wins and then he becomes like unmasked or something like that. But he'll
eventually they're going to unmask him. I love love the fact that they're playing this up like they don't know that it's him. Like they're doing the whole Hulk Hogan is Mr. America thing. I fucking love that they're doing this. It's
But
just phenomenal.
but remember this. That was one of the other matches that I got to see live. It was just Pat McAfee. Michael Cole is telling everybody that it's
It is
that
him,
game,
yes.
Yeah.
and Pat McAfee's no, it's not.
Right.
So
I love that.
and the two that playoff is funny as hell. The two of them playing on each
They are
other.
They're
phenomenal.
great.
I love them. What else we got here? We have Jade Cargill versus Naomi.
Jade will
knew
come
that.
out on top on
You knew
that
that
one.
was coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's when I'll go back to the kitchen to get snacks. Another snack break match. Logan Paul versus AJ Styles.
I love AJ Styles though, but Logan Paul I think will have to
Yeah,
come out on top.
but why is AJ being punished?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
I'm sorry.
Are they punishing AJ or are they trying to build Logan Paul?
They're still trying to build him, and I mean the kid has talent. I'm a dick just because I don't like him,
Right.
like as a
Nobody
person,
does, yeah.
But
I think they're gonna put over Logan, but AJ I like better, but Logan
Yeah.
will win that one.
The Intercontinental Championship Fatal 4-Way: Braun Breaker versus Penta versus Dom Dom versus Finn Balor.
You
This
said
is
Dum
where
Dum or
we
Dum Dum?
see Dum Dum. Yeah. This is where we see Judgment Day implode.
This is
it.
where it
100%,
gets
100%.
interesting. Because
100%.
like Finn will probably be like taking over the match a little bit with Braun, but then like Liv Morgan gets involved, and then Dom Dom will probably. I'm gonna go with the upset. I'll say he'll win that match, and have the bad blood with Judgment Day.
I can't see them taking the title off of Braun,
Breaker.
But it's good. Yeah.
Unless they're going to push him for the world title,
which they could.
which they could. I mean, he's definitely
He's got a future.
he's
100%.
strong enough where he could. But the question becomes is, as everybody knows, being the world title holder comes with a lot more responsibilities.
Mhm.
Can he handle that side of it?
Especially with as young as he is still.
Right.
And it was
Yeah.
pretty cool though this past weekend. Like I've been watching Raw though, and I was like, holy shit! I said that out loud. Carlito took that spear like a champ. I was
That
like,
was
holy
awesome.
shit!
Did you guys see Carlito's tweet afterwards?
What'd he say?
Playing it up like his funeral is going to be later this week. It was fucking phenomenal.
Okay,
That
actually,
was
yeah.
amazing. That
Going
spear.
going back to what you said though, Braun Breaker wins, and then the Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio SummerSlam match starts building.
I don't even know if they wait until SummerSlam because that's a
no,
while.
no
But they're
offense,
gonna-
that's not a SummerSlam match though.
But they
No.
could start building for a feud, I'm saying then.
Oh yeah, that feud is going to finish building.
Oh yeah, Judgment Day implodes on next Saturday or Sunday
Yep.
night, whatever night it's on. They're done.
Yeah.
But
They've been
what's
building
up?
that
Yeah.
they've been building that for a while.
Paul, you'll like this reference. Why is Raquel kind of taking the Silent Bob approach? Like she doesn't talk. Like she's just she's enforcer. She says
I can
very
tell you
couple things.
why. She has no mic skills. That's why.
Like she just sits there like this, and she's like Silent Bob. Like she doesn't do anything.
But she got a new hairdo this week, I noticed.
Did she?
Yeah. Got some body to it, looking nice.
Okay.
So, and that's the other thing. Now it's rumored that there's going to be a women's tag team championship match, but we don't know against who. So,
Oh yeah, they're on SmackDown. Don't they have a fatal 4-way tag match coming up with Bailey and Lara?
oh, that would be the women's intercontinental.
No.
No. Bailey and Lara
There's
are
a fatal
tag
4-way
team.
tag match.
Really?
They're
Yeah,
gonna
on
be a tag
I must have
SmackDown,
missed
I
that.
believe.
I didn't see SmackDown this week, so
Well, it's coming.
I
Future.
also won't see SmackDown this week.
Lyra's got to have a WrestleMania match, and the rumor is right now it's a rumor, but it could be Becky Lynch. But I don't know. That's still
That
a
could be
rumor.
cool, but I think that women's intercontinental is beneath her, beneath Becky.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But I think we
still
see
think
something
Beck-
coming with Bex.
I think Beck comes back. I think she comes back after Charlotte beats Tiffany.
I hope that
I
doesn't
agree with
happen.
that.
But we'll move up to that one. Charlotte Flair versus Tiffany Stratton for the women's
SmackDown or
Yep.
women's
Women's
Championship.
championship. Yep.
Yeah.
But that Lara's got to fight somebody at WrestleMania, and that Chelsea
hope
Green
so,
has to
yeah.
fight somebody at WrestleMania too. They both need their
Neither one of
titles
them have
defended.
anything. I mean, they still have a lot to fill there.
you got 12
2
days.
nights.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, but what I'm getting at is you've got a few days. You still got SmackDown this
An
week.
entire week, so a week
You
and
got
a half,
SmackDown.
basically. Yeah,
You got SmackDown, then you got Raw, and then
SmackDown again.
well, you got an NXT. Because I could see somebody like a Sol Ruka challenging Chelsea Green because she beat Chelsea in a tag match.
Okay.
I could see maybe that coming out to play. You could see Roxanne Perez coming out and challenging one of the two of them.
That'd be
So
cool.
Yeah, 'cause I think she's getting the main roster push pretty soon.
right, and I think that'll get you the NXT, some of the NXT
Mhm.
guys and girls in that
Because we know they're going to be in town. Because NXT
Yeah.
has a show, what,
on
that week, right?
Saturday
Yeah.
morning or whatever.
Yeah.
Roadblock or
Yes.
whatever
Something like
whatever it
that.
is. There's they have one the same weekend. It's like Saturday morning and then Saturday night is WrestleMania.
Yep.
So
Because another thing too, it's not a WrestleMania match, but will we ever see Big E medical cleared? Because
No.
him versus the New Day in a handicap match would be
I
a
would
dream
love to
match.
see that. We're
Yeah,
not
Yeah,
getting
but
that
that's not
back.
going to
We
happen.
can't
We'll
do
never
it.
see that.
No.
Damn.
No. Unfortunately, that's like a legit like neck injury. Thanks, Ridge Holland. You fucking douche.
That would have been one of the best handicap matches of all time, like Big E going against
It
his
would
former
probably
team.
be hilarious too.
Yeah.
So, let's see, where were we? United States Championship match, LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu. That is going to be a barn burner.
It's
That
gonna be
is
a
going to
good.
be a phenomenal match. I guarantee that'll be a night two match.
It's gonna be 50-50, but I say LA Knight comes up on top, but I could be happy with whoever wins that.
And I think you're right. I think LA Knight ends up winning that because they don't need to put a title on Jacob Fatu.
no.
He is already super over.
Yeah.
World Heavyweight Championship match, Gunther versus Jey Uso. After
Gunther.
that promo Monday night, I think we finally got the turn we needed on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was so sick of the Jay doubts himself thing, and that promo he cut Monday night was pretty fucking good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
So I still don't know if Jay does it.
Gunther.
So I mean, I also don't want to see Gunther's reign go anymore because it's gotten boring.
It
Yeah.
has.
So.
It does. A lot of his reigns get boring. When he had the was it the
The IC title for
yeah
God
kind
knows
of,
how
yeah
long. Yeah.
660 whatever days he had it. I mean, no offense, nobody gave a shit after a while.
Right.
And if Braun Breaker does hypothetical drop the title, him versus him at SummerSlam, maybe it's a little premature, but that could be a decent match.
Braun versus Gunther.
Yes. But
I could see it. Different styles that might work.
maybe it's pushing Braun a little too quickly, but maybe I don't know.
I just thought of something. They've been talking about Goldberg's last match. And we know
Yeah.
Goldberg and Gunther have heat after the shit talking Gunther was doing. What about Goldberg interfering so Gunther loses the title to Jay, and then that gives you the match between Goldberg and Gunther?
Or
Coming out of that.
or Gunther versus Goldberg, but Gunther wins and taunts Jay, and then Goldberg enters after WrestleMania and like spears him or something like that.
Could be.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. So it's the two big ones. Probably main events for both nights, I would say, right?
It is.
We know night one, the main event, they've already said it. It's the triple threat match. Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins versus CM Punk after Monday night, apparently with Paul Heyman hanging in the balance.
Yeah, because now we owe Seth a favor.
Okay.
It can
He
go
said.
either.
I know,
Yeah.
and it was great watching the end of that. And like I said, now I get to watch wrestling with Madison. And so I get to watch all of this through her eyes now, and it's fucking phenomenal to watch her. I texted you, didn't I, Corbs?
Yeah. About
We're sitting there during that 6-man match with American Made and El Grande Americano. Madison turns to me, serious as can be, and goes, "I think that's Chad Gable." And I laughed and laughed, and then immediately texted Corbs.
Yeah.
I was really hoping though, like I know you're talking about the two main events, but I would love Chad Gable's mentor because they were in Minnesota. I was really hoping we would see like Kurt Angle or something like that come back. Like I would love to see that go like that down that road because he's looking like Kurt Angle. He's doing Kurt Angle's moves. It's like you gotta literally have him as like your
Right.
protege or something like that.
At
It'll be
some
so
point, I
epic.
think you're going to see it happen. I think you'll see some way they'll bring Angle in and do all of it because
Yeah.
it's so on the nose. They've got to do something with that.
Both wrestlers, both wearing the same gear, like same build,
Both
same.
Olympic wrestlers.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. But going back to your main event, like that can go either way. But I guess because I think of like an Easter egg because Seth Rollins is in the middle of those two, like on the promo picture. But I am gonna go CM Punk is gonna win that match. But it's gonna be very close. It can go all three of them can win that match. But I would say CM Punk's gonna end up winning. I don't know
Oh.
how, I don't know when, but he'll win that one.
Yeah, he
No.
will. I think because they owe it to him.
Now, if Punk wins that, you guys are going to hear me pop like a schoolgirl.
Yeah.
That
You just
that's
pop-
my dude. That's been made very clear. Punk's my guy. I mean, when Heyman told him on SmackDown that night that he was finally getting his main event, I got teary-eyed. I'm not gonna lie. I teared up for it.
Right.
It's
So-
only a thing for us on this Geek Pod thing. Nobody will know this, but I really wish you still had your old couch. And if CM Punk wins this, because you always used to get stuck in that couch, you're like, trying to get out of that couch. He's like, he's winning. He won. You guys all remembered on this podcast.
I remember that
Nobody-
couch.
Yes, because Paul had to wear a kilt once. He
The
looked
kilt.
like Roddy Piper. And he's trying to
WrestleMania
get
2
out.
years ago. Yes.
He's trying to get out of the couch. He's like, I can't get out. But that was one of my favorite.
Well,
that's
I
one
mean,
of
I
my
was also
WrestleMania
trying to
moments.
preserve my modesty. So, thankfully, I was wearing boxers under there. But
Not thanks to you. Thanks for everybody
Yeah.
else, man.
Yeah.
yes, you all should be thanking me. Yes.
Right.
That
And then
poor couch.
finally,
Go ahead.
the main event: John Cena versus Cody Rhodes for the undisputed heavyweight double secret championship.
John Cena wins his 17th record-breaking, and he's going to be the winner in that night. And it's going to be record-breaking WrestleMania numbers.
Yeah, I hope that's what happens. I really do. And then I want to see the rest of the year basically be them chasing Cena. And Cena becomes that heel that he's ducking everybody. He becomes a scumbag heel and cheat to win, any way to win, keep that title until December when he's done, and then he'll finally drop the title. Probably back to Cody. But
Yep, you're absolutely right. He'll dump it back to Cody, but some of the title defenses, the first one he'll defend, if he doesn't have a WrestleMania match, it'll be Randy Orton. So-
coming out of it, I can see Orton getting a shot. I think you see Punk get a shot. I think you're going to see a highlight reel.
Yeah.
You'll get all the main guys will get a crack at him, and he's going to find a way to squeak it out every time.
Mm-hmm. No offense to Cody Rhodes, he's a good fighter, but you have to see the record-breaking, like you said, the John Cena bad guy role, and then the Ruthless Aggression pay-per-view in December, dump it back to Cody, and then he can ride off in the sunset. John
Yep.
Cena,
Be done with it.
be done.
Yep. That's what I see.
I don't.
No,
What do you see?
you
What do you
think
see,
Cody
DC?
keeps it?
No. I think John wins it. I think he goes through a cavalcade of stars and stuff like that. And he's either gonna drop it to CM Punk. So Punk runs the title again, or he's gonna drop it to The Rock.
Oh,
Okay.
Because he's with The Rock. Well, you know what I'm
supposedly,
saying? So The Rock wanted the title back because he told Cody he was coming for the title.
Yeah.
Then you go to WrestleMania the next year, and you finally see Cody versus The Rock. Rock drops it to Cody.
True.
That could work too.
Just saying.
Or that's where
Actually-
we finally get our Rock Roman match.
Yeah.
Yep.
Actually,
That-
Paul, you forgot to mention Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. The eye patch of Drew McIntyre. That will be a match at WrestleMania.
Is that
It's a-
still happening because of the
Should.
injury? Because that's a legit injury.
Oh, I thought they were waxing that in like it was like a pirate or something.
No.
Oh, that's legit.
That was legit. Yeah.
Ooh. How do you
Like,
get
that
the eye
was-
patch again? What's the reason behind
Real
that?
glass. When he put him through that car window, the glass got in his eye.
That
So,
sucks.
yep.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, that wasn't on my list anymore over here. So
Yeah.
Maybe they pulled it because of that.
Yeah,
Maybe.
probably.
which is too bad because that's 2 matches lost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, but that's all I really had. I wanted to get through all the WrestleMania stuff because when this drops, it'll probably drop next Wednesday. I've been pretty good about that. So it'll be literally days before WrestleMania.
Right.
So,
Right.
but other than that, it's guys, what have we been watching?
TV.
Good shit.
Generally, yep.
So, what was it last week? I was like, what do I watch? After this podcast, I put one on. I was like, we're going back to it. The Matrix Trilogy, which is
Nice.
yeah. So I was like, I have to watch this. So every time I hear Hugo Weaving say Mr. Anderson,
Mr. Anderson.
Ugh! Yeah, this lad gets just all fired up from hearing that. It's just amazing hearing that. And what the world is going through now, those movies, you're just believing it more and more. It's like, is this true? Like the scene where Cypher in the first one's eating the steak, talking to Hugo Weaving, in my opinion, one of the best scenes in cinema history. He's like, I know this steak isn't real, but I'm going to put this in my mouth and say it's juicy or something like that. And he's like, I want to be important, like an actor. He's like, whatever you want. I'm like, I don't know, just the way that scene is shot, I love it.
Well, that and I mean that's Joey Pants playing Cypher, right?
Yeah, yeah. And
He's
he's also from
phenomenal in
the
everything.
he's
Yeah.
in the Goonies too.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Running scared.
and
You know
little
that? Yep, you know that. You know what what I just saw
What's
watching one of
that?
my reels, reels on my phone.
Mhm.
Goonies 2.
Yes.
Yes, I did see that.
Now
You're
they
absolutely
did
right.
say, Corey Feldman did say, like, we just want it to be very good. If they come to us, we'll
Mhm.
probably all agree to do it. But if they don't, good luck to them.
Right.
I like that.
I have no ill will or anything like that, but you know what? It would be the only person I didn't see in there because he is well, Sean Astin is too, but A-list is Josh Brolin
Yes.
as he
You're
plays
absolutely
Brandon. So,
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah.
No, and you hit the nail on the head right there, DC. And the last thing I watched, I'll kick it to this last thing. So, as you know, little fun fact, we knew Will Smith was supposed to play Neo.
Yep.
Janet Jackson was supposed to play Trinity, which is weird, I thought. But the one I'm sidetracking to, Morpheus, believe it or not, was written for Val Kilmer.
Yes.
So
Really?
he passed
Yes.
on that part. So what I'm segueing to, this is on Amazon Prime. You guys might be interested if you like documentaries. It's called Val. It came out in 2021. R.I.P. Val Kilmer. He died a couple days ago. It's a documentary on his life. It's a very, very moving documentary. It was really, really good. So I watched it last Saturday, a couple hours long. But yeah, method actor. One of his favorite actors was Marlon Brando. So he called the bat suit very heavy and all that stuff, and then he passed on that to do other movies. He's like, I can't do this again. He's like, it's a
They
good
wanted him
part.
to do it. They wanted him to replace Michael Keaton for good.
Correct. You're absolutely right. He was a phenomenal Bruce Wayne.
He
So
was.
like I thought but Val Kilmer, R.I.P. If you're looking for a good documentary called Val, very, very good. So I only watched those two things, but so 3 movies and a documentary this week.
Nice.
Nice.
Well, you're ahead of me.
Yeah.
But I
You're
want to
always
springboard
ahead
off
of
of
me.
what you said, about like with the current state of things going on. Because season 2 of Andor is about to start, I finally circled back to that, and I mean, I realized we were 3 episodes from the end, and so we watched the next one to continue on, and wow, watching that is way too uncomfortable now. Like with just the way everything echoes with the current affairs and everything, and I mean, it made me actually uneasy watching it now, and I'm not sure if I want to finish the season. Like it's
Wow.
If you do
yeah,
watch season 2, though, there's only going to be 12 episodes. They're way
yeah,
they're, but do you know how they're doing it though? It's
yes.
pretty. Do you
Go
want to
ahead.
tell them? Oh,
No,
you
you
or
go
you want me
ahead.
to? Okay.
Yeah.
So this is cool. 12 episodes, right? And they're going to break it up into 4 different nights. So like you have 3 episodes a week, but you have 3 episodes at a time for like these
Yeah.
12 episodes. So 3 one night, then you're up to 6, then you're up to 9, then you're up to 12. So they have 3 releasing every Wednesday. That's how they're doing it. So, but yeah,
That's
like
actually cool.
another thing I will not talk about, I am watching too. Daredevil ends next week, and it gets better and better. It's so
I'm
beautiful.
I'm only this week's episode behind now. We got all caught up.
Oh,
Oh, I'm way behind.
it's
Okay.
so
Well, we
good.
won't
It's
we
like
won't get into details. You haven't even
no,
started yet, Corbs?
no,
I got the first one.
Okay.
it's so
So
good.
good.
Yeah, the next season's only 8 episodes, and it comes out early or mid 2026. So it'll
Good.
come out. Yes,
Yeah.
it'll be out.
As I understand it, that was supposed to be the second half of this season. And
Mhm.
I know they've already shown the new costume.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's a known promo um picture that they've shown. He's getting the black Daredevil costume, and for the first time ever, they're doing the double D logo on it.
Mhm.
Oh, nice.
Uh,
He's got double D's on?
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, he got my attention.
Besides like Batman stuff, but Daredevil, like when it came out on Netflix years ago, it's really, really good. When this came back, oh my God, it just picks up where it left off. It's Charlie
Yeah,
Cox does a great job as Daredevil.
Yeah, he
absolutely.
does. He really does.
Yeah.
But yeah, DC, get caught up. I know you said you're not watching anything, but that's a show. Oh,
Get
it's
caught
really
up,
good.
damn it.
Get caught up, man.
But those were the only ones I had, so it's to you guys for the rest of it.
I finished watching 1923, the
Okay.
Yellowstone, the prequel to Yellowstone. There is actually another one coming out called, I think, 1944. That's coming out soon. But I finished watching 1923 with Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren. Uh, I was dumbfounded at how it ended. It ended a lot different than I had anticipated, which was not to say it was good.
No?
The
Wow.
ending, it was very heart wrenching, I guess is the way to put it.
Wow.
Okay. So the
So
ending itself wasn't good, but was like the
no, no,
show
no, no. It
itself
was good. The
good.
ending,
Yeah,
it was
that's what I mean.
the whole thing was good. It didn't end the way I thought it was going to end. You watching it all season long, you're like, this is going to be this, it's going to be this, and then it didn't come to fruition, and you're like, well, what the fuck just happened?
That's what my dad said. He says exactly what you're saying right now. He did not expect the ending.
Yeah. So I mean, I expected the ending. I knew that was coming. The ending, the whole end of the season, but the lead up to the end of that, the last episode was like 2 hours long,
Oh wow.
hour and a half long, and I was the whole thing. I was like, this is gonna way it's gonna end, and it didn't end that way. And then the whole ending of the whole show ended the way I assumed it would end. But there are certain aspects that you were like, what the fuck just happened? Like you're like, no, that can't be that. Why? How could you do that?
God
You
damn.
know. So, but I'm gonna tell you now, fantastic show. Uh, Again, I like I loved Yellowstone. I liked 1883. There's only two seasons of 1923. 1944 is coming out. It's gonna have Michelle Pfeiffer is gonna be in it.
Ooh.
I like
Um,
her.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then Matthew McConaughey is going to have a part in it. They don't know what his part is as of yet.
All right, all right, all
All
right.
right.
Yeah. So yeah, yeah. Hey, so he'll be in it. So that's that. Looking forward to that. What else? I watched something else too, and I can't remember what it is now. I had it, and now it's gone.
Sorry. Our fault.
Fuck.
I like when you're talking about the show, Corbs, though, you have your pen in your hand. It looks like you're getting ready to do a news segment or something like that. But you're reporting, you're talking with your
Right.
hands, and like that red pen is right there.
Yeah. And there was something else that I watched over the weekend, and I can't remember what it is now off the top of my head. I've been watching Coach, like we talked about, Jack.
You went back to Coach?
I did go back to
I
Coach.
have to watch that. I'm still watching
What's
Yeah,
that? What's that on?
Prime.
Prime.
So
Oh,
I'm still
nice.
watching Who's the Boss. When I finish Who's the Boss, I'm gonna go to Coach.
Yep,
Coach is
Prime.
fucking hilarious. I love that show.
Yep. Oh, I started watching it,
Yeah.
and I was like, you just start watching it, and you're just like, dude.
Yeah,
Dude,
nostalgic, right?
No, you go back to it and you just start laughing. It's one of those things where you laugh at the same jokes over and over again. Luther and
Dauber.
Dauber.
Dauber, man, they're just, and of course the stuff that Luther pulls and Hayden, it's freaking great. It's a great
Yeah.
show. I can see why it ran for 9 seasons.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
show was.
Syracuse Collectors Con, Paul, we were talking about this, DC Corbs and I. Modern Family went to Ed O'Neill, right?
Yep.
It was written for Craig T. Nelson, but he didn't
Was
think it would
it?
be a good part. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's
He
awesome.
did,
that's
he
how we
did.
got on the aspect of coach.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
I found out something interesting watching one of the shorts on my phone. When they decided to do Married with Children and they asked Ed O'Neill to play Al Bundy, up until that point, he had never done a comedy role.
No kidding.
So they weren't sure. So they're getting ready to film the first scene where Al walks through the door, like the first scene of the pilot where Al walks through the door. And the director was watching him, and Ed O'Neill took a deep breath, slouched his shoulders, and looked absolutely pitiful. And the director went, "That's my guy." And
That's
he
it
walked
right
through the
there.
door, and the rest is history.
That's
I just,
awesome.
I Married with Children also is one of my favorite. I also,
Love that show.
you know, that show was great. I mean, he played a great part, and then I always loved when he makes fun of Marcy
yeah.
and stuff like that. I love the part when they're talking about why men drink beer. Oh my God, that's probably the funniest thing I've ever seen. And it's just like he goes, "Yep, you know, pretty women make us want to buy beer. Ugly women make us want to drink beer." That's just hilarious to me when he does that. That's one of my favorite episodes in the whole thing. But yeah, but I did find that out about, I found out a couple of other ones too. So a couple of other like Star Wars shit and stuff like that about why they did certain things and who was supposed to do this, but they did this instead and stuff. So yeah, I like watching that shit on my phone.
One thing with that, since you brought up the Star Wars thing, do you know that Charlie Cox lost out on a role in the new trilogy because of Daredevil?
No.
Really?
Who was he supposed to be?
I think he was up for the role of Poe Dameron,
Oh, that would have been so
but
cool.
he lost it because he was so used to acting as Matt Murdock. So had nothing in his eyes while he was doing the thing.
Oh,
So yep, and
Oh
they
wow.
passed on him because of it.
That sucks,
Wow.
man. That really does suck.
Hmm.
it does. So I remember the other show that I was watching.
Okay.
Dark Side of the Ring came back.
Oh,
Ah, yes.
Okay.
okay.
Yeah. First episode, Hell in a Cell.
1998 King of the Ring.
Mick Foley and the Taker.
Okay.
1998 King of the Ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about that at the con too.
We've as a group talked about this, that
Yeah.
the whole spot where him throwing Mick off the cage wasn't going to happen. I didn't know. I thought it was between the two of them, Mick and the Undertaker. So Mick and Mark Calloway. I thought the two of them had agreed on it. Mick basically, when he thought of something, and they say that he was an absolute genius when it came to these things. He could book matches and make matches and make them gold by just thinking of ways to do shit.
Yep.
So when he got a wild hair in his ass about something, he would go to Vince
Hmm.
and say, "Vince, we can do this. I can do this." And Vince would always be like, "Well, can you do it and not get hurt
Right, and not die. Yeah.
and not kill yourself?" And he's like, "There's only one way to find out.
Right.
Just go ahead and do it."
See, when you just
He-
said that, Corbs, that's what I think of. Like when JR's like, "Oh my God, he's dead."
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
So the whole thing with him throwing off the cage, Mick went to Vince and said, "We need to do something that rivals and makes it better than Shawn and the Taker from last year.
Yeah.
What can we do to make it better than that?" He goes, "I'll throw myself off the top of the cage." And Vince was like, "No, you're not."
Yeah, maybe not. Let's not do that.
And
Yeah.
Mick kept harping on him, and he finally said, "Mick, can you do it and not get hurt?" And he said, "Only one way to find out."
Yeah.
So
The answer was no. Yeah.
The original thing was he was going to hang on the side of the cage
And then drop.
and then fall. He was going to stamp on his hand or whatever, and he was going to fall backwards so he could land on his back like they're supposed to do.
Yes.
So when it came time to that, and they got up on top of the cage, and we've all talked about it, that the cage was only secured on the top with zip ties, not the metal
Basically,
things that
yeah.
you secure them on the sides with. So when they were stepping, these
Ping,
zip ties were
ping.
pinging, and
Yep.
they said they could hear it.
Hmm.
So the throw off the cage came earlier than they wanted because they knew they were going to be
They
able
had to
to stay
get
on top of the
down,
cage
yeah.
for long.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So when they got to the edge, Mick said to Mark, said, "Okay, here we go." And he's like, "Mick, I'm not doing this. I am not throwing your ass off this." Now, and they're on top of the cage. We're talking about it as it's coming up. He's like, "Mick, I don't feel comfortable doing this." He goes, "You have to do this. We have to do this spot." And he's like, "Okay." So he threw him
See
off the
ya.
cage. And then he's and when he throws him off the cage, he's like, "Oh shit, did I throw him too far? Because if I
Yeah.
throw him too far, he could hit the guardrail. He could end up in the crowd.
You can end up on the announcers.
Right.
Yeah.
Did I throw him?
Yeah.
And then he's thinking, well, shit, did I throw him too short? Because then
Right.
he's going to end up on the ground and he's
Yeah.
going to end up
Dead.
20 feet onto a tiny little pad.
Yeah.
He goes, when he let him go, somehow, don't know how it happened, but when he let him go, Mick was in the perfect position so that he could land flat on his back when he hit the table.
Yep.
He goes, you could do it 100 times and you'd never get that result. He goes, it was the one time and it was absolutely perfect.
Yep. He actually thought he killed him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He actually thought when he threw him off, not only did he think short or long, he went, I
He's
just
dead.
killed him.
Yeah.
I just
So he
killed
was
him.
up there waiting for Mick to move.
Yep.
Right.
Now, Mick wasn't out. He was obviously hurt. He had separated his shoulder,
Yep.
or separated his shoulder. All the guys that came out of the back, the doctor had no idea. Like they didn't. Nobody else. Just Mick, Vince, and Mark. Only three that knew. That's why the reactions are so perfect. Nobody else knew about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when they're wheeling him back, they're telling him at that point, Mick, you are done.
Right.
Yep.
You can't wrestle anymore. Mick, being Mick, got his ass up off the
gurney.
stretcher,
Yep.
went back. So then they were like, okay, fine. But you got to go in the cage. He got to this side of the cage and he's like, fuck it.
I'm going up.
I'm going up. And Mark is coming across, stepping on the cage, and you can see it bowing big
Yep.
time. The only other spot that wasn't planned was the choke slam through the cage.
Through it. It wasn't supposed to happen.
He wasn't supposed to go through the cage. And for a while they weren't even sure they were going to do it because they didn't know if it was going to hold him anyways.
Right.
So when he slammed it through the cage broke away, and he fell on the mat. The chair hit him in the face, knocked him out. He was out
Yep.
for 42 seconds.
Yep.
42 seconds. He has no memory of 42 seconds.
Jesus.
So Terry Funk was there. He ran up, and they were talking to him, trying to talk to him, and he wasn't answering anybody. The doctors were there, so they had to buy time. So Terry Funk went to the Undertaker and said, "You got to hit me. Like we need to buy him time. You got to beat me up."
Right.
That wasn't planned. It was all spur of the moment shit that was going on at that point. So finally, when Mick got up, again, no idea. He's got no idea what's going on at this point. So he kept telling the Undertaker said, "Mick, we got to end this match.
Right.
This match has got to be over. We can't keep doing this. You're gonna kill yourself." He goes, "We got to get to the thumbtacks.
Yep.
Got to get to the thumbtacks." He's like, "Mick, we don't have to do that spot." He goes, "No, we got to get to it." So he went over, picked up the bag of thumbtacks and dumped him out. First time the Undertaker slammed him, he missed. So he slammed him again right in the middle of the thumbtacks. And then obviously the match is over at that point. And I
Yep.
think, Paul, you and I have talked about, we were talked about this before. When he got back to the back locker room, he apologized to Vince for not doing the thumbtack pick
Yep.
as they're pulling thumbtacks out of his back.
Yep.
He had no clue.
Yep. He
Yeah.
didn't know
was
anything.
Not there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the whole thing, that whole thing was about the Hell in a Cell, but they were talking about what Mick used to do to his body and how he's paying for it now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's paying
I
dearly.
gotta listen, dude. I mean, if we had a VCR, I used to have, I mean, I don't have them anymore, but I used
The
to have
King of
King of the Death Match
Yep. We
and
bought that. We
watch,
bought that at DCW.
yes, and watch Mick
Yeah,
go through that tournament
yeah,
Oof,
and
yeah.
fight Terry and fight Terry Funk at the end.
yep.
And just to watch what this guy did.
Mm,
And I'm looking and I'm like, there's no way.
hmm
How is this possible? And, I mean, obviously him and Ric Flair, they didn't like each other because Ric Flair called him a glorified stuntman. But I mean, just watching some of those matches, I mean, they were hitting you. I mean, they were trying at one point, I think Mick branded some guy with the
Yeah.
branding.
Terry branded Mick, or tried
Yeah.
to brand him.
Yeah, but no, Mick branded somebody else or Terry branded somebody else. But then there was fire, broken glass, thumbtacks, barbed wire.
Yep.
C4.
I mean, yeah, C4. I'm like, why?
hmm
They're insane. Yeah.
But yeah, but then if you look back at some of Mick's best matches, he is throwing caution to the wind in every single one of his best matches.
hmm
I mean, shit. I mean, my favorite is when he's supposed to fight Triple H
Oh, yes.
as Dude Love,
Mhm.
and then he goes to Mankind, and they're like, "Well, we got somebody for you," and then Cactus's music hits. Dude, I jumped off the couch, and I was this close to the TV, and my boys are looking at me going, "Dad," and I'm like, "This is Cactus. This is my guy.
Yep.
I love
Nice.
Cactus. I love that persona and stuff." And then I remember when I rented a Nintendo 64 from Blockbuster, and I bought or I rented the wrestling game that went with it. And in order to open up Cactus, you had to be like the Intercontinental Champion. So then I went and won the Intercontinental Championship in like 2 hours. And then I opened up Cactus, and then I just ran Cactus through everybody.
Nice.
Yeah. If you did that, and then if you won the heavyweight championship, you open up DDP. And yeah, it was just awesome. I got to play as Cactus for the longest time. And then we got WrestleMania 2000 for Jake. I Cactus was already a character in there, and so we
Yup.
got to play and stuff. And he would use, I can't remember who he used. I think Jake liked Triple H for a while. So I would play Triple H against Cactus and be like, yeah, okay, let's roll. And fucking kid beat me every time. So
Well, that's awesome.
yeah.
So the one this week was talked about Van Vader.
Nice.
Oh,
So talk about that another time because I know
running short.
we're running a little long and we're probably get
Here
close
we
to
got.
time.
Yeah. Mhm.
So
All right.
all right.
So I'll go really quick with what I'm watching. Absolutely fucking nothing.
Yeah,
I
perfect.
watched college basketball all weekend, Sunday and Monday. Or Saturday, Sunday, Monday, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I watched all the games, Final Fours, championship games, and then while we were recording tonight, I was watching out of the corner of my eye. I was watching Luka's return to Dallas with the Lakers, and Luka had 30 points in the first half, but the Lakers ended up winning, but. Yeah, so now I have Tanked on. I like Tanked. So I don't know if you guys have ever seen that with the guys. Yeah, it's Tanked. It's two friends from Long Island or from New York move out to Las Vegas, and they build custom aquariums
Oh,
for
okay.
people. I mean, they built them for they're really good friends with Tracy Morgan. They put a shark tank in Tracy's New Jersey home in the backyard. You know how cold it gets in Jersey?
Yep.
It's huge, and they're real black tip sharks in the inside, like 4 or 3 of them. And
Oh,
they
wow.
built them an octopus thing. They built, when they first met Tracy, they built him a Jaws themed tank in his basement, put sharks in there, but it was like Jaws and the orca, the boat, and all that. Yeah, so they built like huge ones for like casinos. They actually built one that they built and took down for when Dwayne Wade came out with his signature shoe, and they had his signature shoe inside the aquarium, safe, but they built an aquarium, brought it in, showed Dwayne Wade's, and they took it out, drained it, took all the fish back. But yeah, these guys are awesome. So I mean, they built Kevin Smith a turtle sanctuary for his turtles. But that episode is funny because it also has Jamus in it.
Oh, nice.
Fucking hilarious. But Kevin goes, I got to run, but Jay's here. He'll let you know what I want. And then Jay just started spouting off all this shit. And they send it to Kevin, and he videos him back, and he's like, what's this? He says, well, this is what Jay said you wanted. And he goes, you guys listen to Jay. Hilarious. Hilarious. So, yeah. But, yeah, so I'm watching. I have Tanked on. So it'll probably be on until probably like 1. And then I got to take medicine at midnight, and they got to come in and change my back. So I'm thinking they're going to come in soon. So
All right.
that's it.
Okay.
Are we done?
I think so. I think that's about wraps it up.
So you're going to enlighten us or not?
I am.
Are you sure?
Yes. History is screaming at us. The same tools used by fascists of the past, fear, propaganda, scapegoating, and the slow normalization of hate, are being sharpened by men like Trump and wielded by cowards like Keith Self. We cannot wait for it to get worse. It already has. This is the moment to speak, to act, to resist. Because when they start quoting Nazis without shame, the only thing left is whether we have the courage to say, never again, and mean it. It's time for a revolution, and the revolution will be streaming.
This has been a GeekPod Network production.